There is much mysticism surrounding Lord Jagannath, while he is worshipped by Shaivatas as Vaishnav, as Kalika by Shaktas, Rama and Krishna by Vaishnavas. Followers of different sects regard him as their supreme lord. Devotion brings sublimation, and the souls inhabit the evolved lives. It is said Lord Jagannath, the god of the universe, is the lord of his devotees. In Odia, there is a saying, Bhaktara Bhagavan, and history is the witness that Lord Jagannath has always blessed his devotees by giving his darshan.
I just sit back and try to depict each and every story of Lord Jagannath, how great he is and how amazing and magical his miracles are, then suddenly I have to write volumes of books, and suddenly that would also fall short. But here in this video we just want to keep it short and simple. So here are a few reasons why we love our Jaga. Do you know that 108 pots of holy water are used just to bathe our beloved Jagannath? And after that he catches cold and goes for quarantine for 14 days. Yes, the term quarantine is not a new one. It's an old term which is used in Puri, which is used in the case of our Lord Jagannath. When he catches cold, he goes for self-quarantine, and when he returns back from that quarantine,
While traveling to Lord Jagannath Dham Puri, you will come across this village called Balika, and it's clearly written DASIA village. DASIA BAURI, he was a great devotee of Lord Jagannath in the 15th century AD. He was born into a very poor family of weavers and he led a life of untouchable. Once his villagers were on the way to Puri and he was unable to afford it and just asked them to offer a coconut on his behalf. The villagers, they made fun of him. Anyways, the very next day when he was catching fish with the help of a fishing rod, he felt as if he was pulling all the three chariots of the god, and there he offered a coconut. And the very next day, the villagers were amazed to see that only shell of coconut was available at the place where they offered their offerings. And this proved that it was beyond belief, and Jagannath had accepted the offerings of Dasya Bauri. Such is our God, Lord Jagannath.
you have power, you have wealth, you have holdings, and if you want to impress our Lord with all these things, then certainly, my dear, you cannot just succeed in your life. Even if the king of Puri, Gajapati Maharaj, sweeps the entire chariot of Lord Jagannath with his golden broom, and then just goes on to say that each and every one of us, everyone is just the same in front of our beloved Lord Jagannath.
And did you know that the English word Jagannath has its origin in the name of Jagannath? And the word Jagannath means an irresistible force with a destructive power. And it is said so because the huge and heavy wheels of the chariot have crossed many number of people who have come in its way. And the same heavy wheels of the chariot is crushed down by none other than Mata Lakshmi, the dear wife of Lord Jagannath. Why? Because Lord Jagannath goes in a long day journey to his maternal aunt, leaving his wife behind. And this shows the love relationship between Lord Jagannath and Mata
There
Lakshmi.
is a very special connection between Rajasthan and Lord Jagannath. Yes, he had a great devotee named as Karma Bai in Rajasthan. She was a very poor widow who used to offer khiri every day to Lord Jagannath, and it is believed that our Lord used to leave Sri Mandir just to have that khiri in Rajasthan. And even after her death, years have passed, but till now also all the sebayats of Sri Mandir offer kheer to Lord Jagannath in his breakfast, and after that he prefers to have other prasads, but except that particular kheer he just doesn't take anything else.
Lord Jagannath is known as the god of his disciples. A person named Bandhu Mahanti of Jajpur district in Odisha had two daughters and one son. He was too poor that he used to beg for his living. And once there was a drought in his area and people were dying out of starvation. His wife asked if there is any relative of his who could help. He denied but said, हाँ, एक दोस्त है मेरा जो मेरा मदद कर सकता है. And according to him, he was the best of the people in the world and no one ever equals to him. और वो रहता श्री क्षेत्र पुरी में है. His wife was very happy to hear this, and without any delay they started their journey to Sri Kshetra. Arriving 4 days later, they saw that there were thousands of people visiting the temple and there was a very tight security. Bandhu Mahanti went towards the southern gate near the Pechanala, where all the starch from the cooked rice from Lord Jagannath's kitchen gathers. They were quite hungry and they decided to drink that rice starch water and spend the night over there. Now, known as the Lord of the Disciple, अब वक्त के भगवान चुप कैसे बैठ सकते हैं? Lord Jagannath was very worried that his devotee was sleeping without any food. Now, the Lord of the Universe went into the storeroom, took a golden tray in his hand with varieties of food starting with sweet, curd, vegetables and rice, and offered the golden tray in the disguise of an old Brahmin to Bandhu Mahanti and disappeared. Such is our Lord Jagannath.
We take birth and we die. It's a complete cycle, and we all perform this. We all obey it. And so does Lord Jagannath. On the very day of Navakalebara, the old are buried in a place called Koili Vaikuntha, and new idols are worshipped from the day onwards. It just goes on to send a special message to each and every one of us, a special message to each and every one of us, and that is, yes, we are immortal, and the Lord is just like us.